Generic greetings and welcome to Terra Nil. Today's beverage is a nice cup of green tea with a hint of citrus, very refreshing indeed. So Terra Nil, or Terra Mill as I keep referring to it as, so apologies if I say that a couple of times in this video, is a relaxing reverse city builder slash puzzle game that is themed around climate and ecosystem restoration. It's a game I've played for about 45 minutes, so still a first impressions. However, I believe there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 missions in the game, because this is actually the pay what you want pseudo free to download trial type thing that they're doing. They are working for a full commercial release, but this is just the sort of prototype demo type thing. So either way, links in the description so you can check it out yourself. I'm going to show you a couple of levels in the game and you can decide whether obviously it's something for you or not. Let's go over to the very first mission. So this is called Highland. This flat plateau is the ideal place to start wasteland reclamation. Proving oneself here will unlock more challenging environments. We have score multiplier of 50%, no extra biomes, I'll mention those later on. We have a Zen mode, so no score at the end, but we'll just keep everything as default and load into the map. Now this is randomly generated, so it'll be different every time. Welcome to Terra Nil. Your goal is to rejuvenate the wasteland by covering the landscape in greenery. Continue. So how do we cover the landscape in greenery? As you can see at the moment, it's like a mid-2000s shooter. It's just a brown, and that's a problem. We want to make it nice and lush and green. So how do we do that? Well, as with everything, you have to spend some money. On the left-hand side, we have our percentage. So currently 0% of 50. We have to recover 50% of this land mass. We have 1,000 generic units of currency to do that. And then we have our build options on the bottom. So what can we build? Well, we have things like a turbine. Every building that you can place, every option has a requirement. So in this case, it requires, this will be like stone, the foundation stone, but it provides power. So I can click on that and you can see obviously we can't build it around here, but we've got highlights where we can place it around these parts. So I'm just going to place a windmill in there because we can. And then what else do we have? Well, we've got a toxin scrubber, requires power, and it is like a deserty type brown mud, basically this stuff here. But once that is done, it will provide a nice cleansed area. So I'm going to place it in this corner, and you can see what happens is it cleanses all the toxin. We get some nice scarecrows there, I think, by the look of it, and we also have some seedlings, so that's pretty good. Let's continue on with that, and I'm going to place them pretty much in each corner as far as I can out to get the sort of biggest bang for our buck there, and then there's that all nice and covered. So what would we do from that one? Well, it looks sequential, so you can see we've done that, and then this one is next. So greenhouse requires great greenery from nearby clean soil. So all this is the clean soil, so we can place one of these down, and you can see above there it says plus 131, 125, 134, etc. That's how much we will make in terms of money as well. You can press R to rotate this so you can get different shapes. You can also continue pressing R and you'll eventually get this, which is like a straight line, which I think is probably what we'll end up doing. But we're going to actually change things up before then, because I'm going to place a water pump. A water pump, as you may imagine, will pump water to through this riverbed here. So this just requires water. Sorry, it requires a riverbed and power, but it will provide water. So I'm just moving it around just so I can cover this bit over here, and that will do there. And when we place it, you can see it's pumping water, and there's water going along the riverbed, and on the riverbanks we've now got this lush vegetation springing up. So that's pretty good, pretty happy with that. We could place one over on this side as well, because there is in the sort of right sort of distance there, and that will provide even more lush greenery. Good. Alright. So I could go ahead straight away and place some greenhouses to collect a lot of this, but I don't want to do that for a couple of reasons. Firstly, a lot of this has already been collected, and secondly, if I place this greenhouse, say for example here, it will cover all of the, you can see all the soil in green is what we'll collect, which is a lot less than what it was previously, but we've already collected that. But also there's bits down here which won't collect because they're not already cleaned. However, if we start to clean this first before we do anything else, then we will get that option. So let's place one there, and then one in here. And now when we place these, it will collect all of that. So it's actually worth us just looking a little bit closer ahead to then obviously get more out of that one. So let's just rotate this round and place this in wherever we can. That'll go there. I'm not too concerned about getting every single bit, because there's a little strip there that we've missed, because we only need to get 50%. So I mean, I can rotate this round to go further up this time, but once again, we'll plan a little bit ahead, which is unusual for me, but we'll place that one in there, and then we'll go for all of these corners as well, and that should be pretty much a complete on this one. I can't see it being too much of a problem, but let's go ahead and place this one in that bit there, and then that one there as well. So let's just go ahead as well and place from this top bit that one there, and then work down. And you can see we're just obviously collecting all of this, and this is where the different shapes come in, because we'll be able to place that one in here, and that will generate a nice bit of greenery around there. So how would you, for example, build up the top here, because there's no foundation to build on and we can't expand? Well, that's where we get the calcifier. Calcifies nearby greenery, creating rock. So if I place one here, we then get rock around it, which means we can place a turbine, which means we can continue on with our cleaning up of this site. And that should be a complete for this map. There we go. Yeah. And it's nice to see what we started with, that, and we've ended up with this. Lovely. You can hear the nice little details in the background. All the machines working and the water flowing, and yeah, all nice. Okay, so score, we have ending currency amount plus 772 generic units of currency. Total currency earned 1,147. 10 times maximum number of buildings is 290, and then some difficult multipliers and stuff. Either way, our score is 814. Is that good? I would argue that it really doesn't matter. Perhaps it is, perhaps it isn't. It just looks pretty in the background and is certainly better than when we started. Alright, let's go into the second map then. This time, however, it's called Floodplain. The remnants of a great river divides this formerly lush landscape. Restore it to its formerly verdant nature. Score multiplier 100%. Biomes present. Now we have 3 biomes. It looks to be wetland, grassland / wildflowers, and forest. And play. So once again, primed with what we have to do. Welcome to Terra Nil. Your goal is to rejuvenate this wasteland by covering the landscape in greenery. So different layout for the map. Let's first work up here, I think. So we'll place that in there. I'm going to place the water pump up top for a simple reason that you see. Oh, you won't. Okay, you can actually get waterfalls. So if we placed one there, you would be able to see it flowing over. But anyway, it's now working. This is good. I'm going to continue on this side as well, because I want to try and get as much of this in as possible, which I think we will probably be able to do if we just, let's say, box a bit clever. However, you can get to a point where, let's say, if you spend too much money in one go, you will fail it. I don't think it's really worth building over there, to be honest with you, so let's just go ahead and go with this greenhouse. Start here and work our way along. So, there. Rotating these round. I think sadly some of this will be in the way. It is, but we're getting most of it. That's fine. As it's shown on the bottom there, we only need 50%. We don't need everything, so that's alright. And we could place up there. Actually, what will probably be best if we keep rotating, do that, and then we will get the majority of what we want. There's a bit left up. No, there we go. That's the majority of that. Excellent. We'll place into the water pump in and around here. And I think that is probably best because it'll fill all of this. And we'll continue on. We'll look at maybe building around here. Because what I'll do as well, I'll wait for this water to come down, see how far it goes. And then we'll place a calcifier followed by a turbine and have this all done in one go because we have the money. So calcify that area, bring in some power, and that looks to be fairly decent. Yeah, pretty happy with that size of it, so that's pretty good. We'll go there, there. And obviously for those completionists who really want to get it all done, it is possible, and we'll see hopefully shortly what happens when you get to a certain stage. And that's going to be a nice bit to place all these down. Now, I think I'll place these going up that way to get them. And then we'll place the other ones in a different orientation. Place another water pump as well to fill this in. Rotate this round. There's a bit of a flashing of the screen when we rotate this, which is slightly annoying. And that's going to be another bit there as well. Okay, good. We'll work on this part, and then we've got that bit there as well, actually. Yeah, we'll work on this bit. Because what I'll do is go there, calcify this land, and then work down there. 1, 2. I think we can get the other side. Yes, 3. And I don't want to build that there yet, because I want to calcify that. Do that. Do that. And then we've got a huge area now that we can work on. Gonna build up there. Why not? Connect all those. Just concerned about the money that we have, but we'll get there. This will be very good now. So I think we'll start from the bottom. And once again, just rotating them so they're in the most advantageous position. But any second now. Yep, there we go. And there's a lot more money. So, is that level complete? No. You've successfully repopulated the wasteland with plant life. Now, increase the biodiversity of the ecosystem with these biomes. Press the 2 tab below to access the new buildings. Continue. So we can go to number 2, and we get access to some new buildings. The biomes we saw at the start of the map. I'm actually going to change. Well, I'm going to continue with this first to get more money, basically, and finish off what we were doing. And then we'll look at the other options. Okay, there's that placed. So, tier 2, we have a research centre. New research allows for reducing costs of scrubbers, water pumps, calcifiers, and excavators, as well as making excavators smaller. Can only be built once. So I'm going to place it in here. Alright, so now the excavator is smaller, and it's a lot better. Yeah. Alright, good, and these are a lot cheaper. So, what else do we have? Beehive. Requires trees, grassland. Provides, well, swarming bees pollinate nearby greenery, creating some flowers. Okay, that's the beehive. We have the hydroponium? Yeah. That is increase the moisture content in the greenery around it, making wetland near water. Alright, and we have an arboretum, so use a nutritious ash to create fully fledged forests. The pinnacle of ecosystem restoration must be placed on a burnt building. Ah, so how do you do burnt buildings? Well, as you may imagine, there's a solar amplifier and a desiccator. Dries around it, creating a bush. A brush that can be used as a fire starter will burn greenery, blah blah blah. So yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, but we need to do bees first. So what we'll do is we'll look around and we'll see there's a tree. So we place the beehive in the tree, and nice, very nice indeed. Let's continue on with that approach. There you go. We get trees on there. I mean, it does look like an explosion in a bauble factory, I must confess, and that's Christmas plus. That's very festive. Once you see it, you can't unsee it as well. But, there we are. Anyway, we've got that, and it means that we can, if we really wanted to, start to burn all of this land. Now, do we want to do that? Why would we want to do that? Well, as I said, it's the only way you can get the Arboretum. So what I'll do is I'll focus on that in a moment. What I want to do beforehand, and this is learning from experience, is I want to basically have a barrier, a water barrier between a lot of this, because fire spreads, and I really, really don't want it to spread much further than where it is now. So that's all set in. Let's go ahead and we'll put in from tier 2. We're going to place in, well, for a start we need one of these solar, what's it called? A solar amplifier. Strengthens sunlight in an area around it, allows for growing of arid plants and the lighting of fires. So if I place it in here, what will happen is it'll sort of shine all of light around and, well, looks very, very pretty. But we are going to use it in this particular case to basically set fire to a building, and yeah, that fire is going to spread, but because we've got this barrier of water all the way around the outside, it shouldn't cross over to set fire to this, and then, yeah, I think you can get a chain reaction, and that may look terribly, terribly destructive, and, well, it is, but you do need it to place things like the Arboretum, like well, like that. In fact, I think I read somewhere before there was some place where they were regularly putting out forest fires. Uh-oh. It spread this way. I do hope it naturally extinguishes at some point. Because if it goes onto this and spreads this way, we're in trouble. Okay, we're in a bit of bother now. We're in bother. Right, what's my option? I don't really have much of an option. Please stop. Please stop burning. Please stop burning. Yeah, I was never worried. Okay, so that's a lie. Yeah, I think I read somewhere about there was people putting out the forest fires all the time, but the trees themselves would they've evolved to withstand the light burning of the scrub, and it clears all that out and increases biodiversity, allows the trees to germinate, etc., etc. Anyway, so we have cleared this out. Let's go ahead and continue on with Tier 2, Arboretum. And you can see it's got a huge area effect. Place that, and nice. Look at all those trees pop up. We'll continue on. Arboretum. Arboretum. And that is now completed. That one. So we have this with a tick. We don't need to place any more trees. This is good. I will still place one. No, I won't place one there. But there, we have that one done. Now, how do we work on the wetlands? Well, it's fairly simple. You place it on greenhouses, and anywhere near water becomes, well, a lot wetter, basically. And as you can see, it's covering certain areas all the way around here. And we have our wetland. That's very nice indeed. We're on 22%. Probably need to place some more. So we'll go over and place a greenhouse in... Well, there will do. Because we're then just going to change it to that. And that'll be another bit of wetland. And there's that one done. Alright. So we now just need a few more bees. Bees up there. That's nice. 26%. We're placing on the trees, you can see there. More bees there. Is that going to do it? 27%. No, need a few more bees. I think it's going to be a little bit problematic. We'll place a greenhouse. What we'll do? We'll do that there to make all this land fertile. And then bees around there. And hopefully that'll just get us over that mark. No, we haven't got it. Okay, so I'll need to find... Oh, there we go. That should do it. And this is where the magic happens. Collect all of that. That's complete. Congratulations. With biodiversity restored, we can begin the process of cleaning up. Your primary objective is to construct a rocket of recycled materials. Your secondary objective is to restore local weather systems. Okay. Press the 3 tab in order to access that. We now have the rocket and the weather. So 3, you can see we've got rocket silo, the deconstruction pylon, conveyance ports, steam plant, hangars, beacons, and seed launchers. First things first, let's get this climate restored. Steam plants, where do you place them? It says places requires power and requires water. Or wetland, is it water? Yeah. And place it, and we start generating steam. Alright? That's steaming away. Place another one there. Continue on with this. Place another one there. And I think you can just stack them if you need to. Oh no. If you do that, some of them... It has to cover more of a new area. So, let's go back to Tier 2. And I'll need to, I think, go back to Tier 1 actually. Place that in there. Make power. Make some fertile land. I'm just concerned about the money that we have, but we should be okay. All that fertile. And then turn it to wetland. I'll place another greenhouse up here just to do the similar sort of thing. and then make it wetland, and then steam, and steam. Weather system restored. And this is where the game went from pretty cool and interesting to, oh wow, that's taken me aback a bit. We now have deer running around. We have a nice lushly dense forest. You'll be able to see a bear now and again wandering around there. We can also hear thunderclouds. And there's the rain. And what will that do? It will completely fill the map. All of the bits that we've missed, doesn't matter. We've restored the climate. The rain is making the soil now capable of supporting life. More trees popping up, bushes, shrubberies. There's the bear coming out to take a look. And there we are. Excellent. So, we have a bit of a dilemma, don't we? Because this has all been restored, but as you can clearly see, whatever's caused this in the first place, probably human intervention anyway, we fixed it by probably using similar technologies. But we still got all of this stuff around. It's restored, but it's still industrialized. We want to go the other way now. Everything's back to what it was. Let's remove our presence. There's some nice butterflies, I think. Yeah. It's interesting just how, it's curious, just how much a couple of pixels can be that emotive. Tribute to the artist there, I guess. Anyway, so how are we going to fix the problem? Well, there's multiple ways of doing it. We need to, as I said, use a rocket silo and launch ourselves off the planet. So I'm going to place a rocket silo in here, right in the center, and we need to gather up resources and leave. We need to get rid of all of this stuff. So how do we do that? Well, we have Deconstruction pylon, and wherever you place it, it will remove all of the stuff around that area. So it will remove all of these, and then you need to use a conveyance port in order to get it back. So for example, if I place this deconstruction bit up here, like so, it's going to collect all of the bits that we originally placed, remove that, and then pack it into here. You can see obviously some of the land that we built on is not now it's been terraformed over, and we need to bring that back. So we'll use this port, we'll place it in there, and what will happen is nothing, because I haven't connected that up. There we go. So I've put that port there and that port there. This port will get the resources from that deconstruction pylon, put it on the little boat there, take it to this other port, and then we start to build it here. 18% on the rocket now. Let's continue on. So I want to place some more up the top here, but obviously some of the places are a bit problematic at times, but we'll get them in there. And then we might be able to get 3 in, although unlikely. Oh, there's some deer we've just startled. And then we'll place that one there. You can see it connects to both, and then that'll deconstruct them all and move it down. Alright, let's continue on with this process. We also have a hangar as well, so we can place a hangar at the rocket. It's actually a little bit difficult to place. It does prompt you, I guess. You can see that's grey, and then that goes green, and it does actually state there in the hangar that it needs to be placed on the rocket, but also you need to restore the climate. Once it's restored, we get this drone, and we can use beacons and place beacons on trees like that, and then the drone will come along and it'll remove all of this stuff around there. So you don't have to be near rivers necessarily in order to do that. So that's pretty good. Anyway, we're continuing on with our removal of all of this, and we'll place that there. That should hopefully get rid of that, but it's not getting rid of that steam plant for some reason. I don't know whether it's just taking its time about it, but there you are. What about the rest of this? I guess we'll just place... Well, we'll place them wherever we can. One can go in there, and we'll place it in a port. I think we'll place a couple of these down first. That'll go in there. Another one will go in there, and then we'll place the port. And you can see it all collects up and is now moving. So this is good. Once again, one there, one there, one in there, and then hopefully a port will get all 3, which we can. Yep, that's fine. It's not removing the... It's not removing these though, which is curious. The steam vents, but we'll check about that later on. This could prove a problem if it weren't for the seed launcher. A very a very sophisticated piece of technology creates a tree at the marked location. This advances terraforming required, restored by the system required, yes, and press R to rotate it. So we can click on that, and you can place it on foundations, and it will launch a tree in the orientation, like that, alright? And why is that important? Well, the tree grows up, and then you can place that. And that's the little marker, that's the beacon, which then gets our drone coming along to grab that stuff. Alright, this is good. So these are all removed and done. We'll work over here, but I think instead we'll just use our drone because it's easier. And look, this is all now completely cleared. So we've removed all of our footprint there. We'll have to probably use our seed launch here as well. And then we'll place the drone in there, which will hopefully clear off some of this other stuff. There you go, that's all completely clear. So we are, oh, actually building the rocket there. I don't know if you saw that. We've just got another stage on the rocket there. It's moved up. There's all that being removed. Yeah, so we're removing a lot of our presence here. Well, we're removing all the presence. That's the whole point in the game, basically. Let's do that. Seed launcher over here. I find the seed launcher to be very powerful. I mean, not as powerful as a Flak 88, but, you know, it does the job in removing these. I think what we'll do is place that away. And you see, we can't place this drone up the top there. Can't place it up the top there because there's already a beehive on that one. Now, I've ordered the removal of this, but we're also going to remove that port. So we're probably going to have to place that back in order to collect the stuff from this area, or we could just use trees. Realistically, I'm just going to use the trees. It won't take long. There's enough treeage around here. Let's continue on with the removal of this. I think... Where is it? Around there? No, a bit further up. There we go, that's perfect. I think that's got most of it. And there's just this little section left. Let's get a tree in. And luckily, because of the range, albeit limited, of that tree launcher, where you put your drone, it collects up the tree launcher anyway. There's the bear wandering around. Didn't remove that though, so that's a problem. That'll remove that, but it takes a while for the drone to go back and forward. Just checking out around here. That seems alright. It is 100% we need on this one. We need to remove all trace of our presence on this map. And we've got this bit to do. That should be, not accounting for little bits that I've missed, that should be it completes once we've moved this. Yep, a couple of bits there like arboretums. Obviously there's still a bit of land there that's barren, but it's not toxic. Oh, there's a frog, I think. Frog in the wetland. But there's a huge contrast. Hang on, is that a creeper from Minecraft there? Or just a interesting shrubbery. Anyway, there we go. We have restored the climate. And the contrast between what we started with and what we've got now is immense. Right, we need to launch the rocket. And this is just the icing on the... It's basically the icing on it. Here we go. Cherry on the icing. Launches off. There goes the rocket. It fills itself with water and then becomes a natural... a nice natural spring there. Maybe if people come along in thousands of years, they'll find that actually that was a rocket silo. But that is literally the only presence, the only trace of our presence here. Wasteland reclaimed. And didn't mean to come back straight away, but that was that map done. What's this one? Mountain. A great peak dominates this setting. A well-placed pump is key, but getting power to the foothills may prove challenging. We have, looks of it, forests, some dense vegetation, grassland, and that looks like cactus. Anyway, we would have to place, water pumps to have the river flow down. Same over here. We can then probably connect up these rivers somehow to down here. Some strategically placed foundations there. But again, a nice different map. We're not going to play that. That is obviously a little bit longer to go through and whatnot. But that has been a bit of... Oh, hang on. Oh, first chink in the armor there, I think. It's started to go terraform. It's because that's what happens when you complete the map for the first time. But there you are. That's been a bit of Terra Nil. I can't remember how I found the game. Someone might have mentioned it on Twitter or on a comment, or I might have just stumbled across it. Whatever the reason. I thought, oh yeah, reverse city builder. I'll give that a go, and it looks pretty, and I really like the theme of it about restoring a climate. If this was just a commercial product, a couple of quid for this, I'd happily play it. Very much so. Really, really looking forward to a full commercial release with more maps, obviously more biomes, more challenges, etc. We may even get a story with it. Who knows? Either way, genuinely one of the better, in fact, probably genuinely one of the best demos / prototypes I've played for a long time. Very fun, very polished. Like the theme, as I said. Relaxing. The soundtrack complements that. Beautiful looking game as well. Not high fidelity in the slightest, but yeah, it's very emotive. Either way, hope it has been fairly enjoyable and relaxing one for you. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments. I'm certainly going to be completing this anyway, so may want to come along for the ride on that one. Let me know. Either way, looking forward to see what happens. Links in the description so you can check it out yourself. Comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.